welcome back. So we're looking at integers, and when we're thinking of integers, we're thinking of any whole number. So a number that is 1, 2, 3 on the number line, or minus 1, 2, 3 on the number line, but no fractions or decimals. Okay, so when we're thinking of the minus sign here, right? So the minus sign can actually mean two things. It could mean that I'm subtracting two numbers, 2 minus 1 equals 0, or it can mean a position on the number line. So it can mean position, or it can mean subtraction. Yikes. All right, here we go. All right, so it can mean one of those two things. So if I think of the number 5, what 5 really is 0 plus 5, right? And that would equal 5, and this would be its position on the number line, right? Is right here. This is 5. And what if I was talking about negative 5, okay, what I'm saying is it's 0 minus 5, which is equal to negative 5, and this would be its position on the number line, right? So when we're thinking of positive and negative numbers, the sign can either be a symbol, right? And that's subtraction, so it's a symbol, or it's a position on the number line. All right, so you don't have, so let's talk about this now. I'm going to erase this and keep the same slide going. Whoop. All right. There. Okay, so let's pretend you don't have anybody, but you want to buy something. And you know what you want to buy costs $5. Okay? You know that you're getting money this Friday. You're going to get paid, you're getting your allowance, super excited. So how can I pay for it now? So I can use a credit card, right? And I can put it on credit. So I can use credit, or I can borrow from someone, right? So that's credit. And I can pay for it now, and then I owe that money. So what that really means is I have 0 money, and I'm subtracting $5, and I'm going to pay that later. So I have negative $5. Okay, so that would sit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here on the number line. Okay, so I have now negative $5, right? If I had $8, so I'm on the number line here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm going to put this one over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have $8, right? And now I'm going to pay for something, and it's $5. I'm taking that $5 away from the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And now I have $3. Okay? It's the same sort of thing. I'm just moving spots on a number line. Is there a shorter way to write these? Well, what number is less? Is 3 less than 2? So if I have, I'm going to change colors here. Here's the number 2, right? And 3 less than 2 is going to be minus 1 on the number line. So it is basically 0 minus 1. What number is 5 less than 3? So if I have 3 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So this would be minus 2. And what number is 6 less than 1? So here's 1 on the number line. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm at minus 5. And then what number is 4 more than minus 2? Where's 1, 2? So here's minus 2. So this is basically like 0 minus 2, right? And 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I'd be at 2 there. So if I were to look at the number line, okay, so each position, this position here is just the same as writing 0 minus 1. This is like saying 0 minus 2, 0 minus 3, 0 minus 4, 0 minus 5, 0 minus 6. So we don't, just like we wouldn't write on the positive side of the number line, 0 plus 1, 0 plus 2, 0 plus 3, and so on. That would be way too cumbersome to write all the time. So the way that obviously we write this, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. All right, so now when I'm looking at these numbers, right, which ones are positive and which ones are negative? Well, if I start here, oftentimes if it's written in an equation, you will see a negative number written in brackets so that it is not confused with subtraction. Okay, so -4 would be a negative number. Now, 5 plus 5, right, a positive 5, would go in the positive. -2 would be -2 there. This is 3, obviously positive. Now, you don't have to write the plus sign to know that something is positive. You can just have it without. We know this. And this is +4. Okay, this is -7, +7, +2, and in brackets, +3. Okay, so Tom had no money, but he spent on his credit card $2. How can we write how much money he has? So he started on the number line, right? He started at 0. He spent $2 on a credit card, which would not be smart. There we go. Okay, so he'd have -$2. And that's how much money he owes to the credit card company now. So Ahmed has $6. There's another number line. He has $6. Lucky guy. 4, 5. Okay. There we go. And now he's going to spend, so he has $6 and now he's going to spend $11. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And how far are we behind the 0? So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're at -5 there. Okay. And if we think about that, 6 plus 5 is 11, right? So that we've added up to there. So now we are at, so how we would write this is 6 minus 11 equals -5. And if I added 6 and 5 together, I would get 11, right? So I know that that is correct. Now, the big misconception and trouble that people have, sometimes they'll get a brain block with this, is oftentimes when you're younger and all the way through school until now when you're dealing with integers for the first time, teachers will tell you you always need to write the larger number first, and they will write it like this, and then we'll do it backwards. Okay, because you can't, and they'll say you can't take a bigger number away from a smaller number, which obviously we can, because we do all the time when we borrow money from someone. They're lending you that money and now you owe that back. So now you're in the negative, you're in the red. Okay, so if now one number is positive and the other number is negative, how can you tell which number is smaller? Well, if we're comparing two numbers, right? Just like what I just said, this is going to be -3, this is +2. Okay, this number is smaller. So a negative number, a negative integer, is smaller when it's further to the left than the other on the number line. Okay, so 2 is still going to be less than 4, right, on the number line. All right, so I just want you to have a quick look at these. Okay, is -1 or +4, which one is smaller? Okay, so hopefully in your mind you said -1. Which one's smaller, 1 or -3? Okay, obviously -3. 7 or -7? -7, right? -5 or +2? -5. 2 is it greater than or less than 5? So 2 is going to be less than 5. And I could write less like this, or I can use the less than symbol. And minus 2 is greater than, right? Or I can use the greater than symbol, is greater than minus 5, or negative 5. Okay, so opposite integers. So what that means is an opposite integer is exactly that. It's the number that's on the opposite end of the number line. Okay, so if I'm thinking about 3 over here, positive 3, this would be negative 3. That's its opposite integer. So that's the opposite integer there. The opposite integer to the rest of these, I just want you to consider them, have a look before we write them down here. So this would obviously be 5, minus 4, 10, negative 7, and negative 3. So remembering when we're using greater than and less than, these are symbols that represent these words, okay? It is not the crocodile that's eating the bigger side, but if you need these to mnemonics to remember that, there's a couple different mnemonics that can help you, okay? To know which way it's facing. But the open end facing to the left is always going to mean greater than if you're reading it in a sentence. So I can say 9 is greater than 6. Or I can say 6 is less than 9. It's always going to be written like that because that is the symbol for those words.